Hey guys, so today we're checking out the AWE Zero FG catback exhaust system with the bash guard fitting all 2021 and newer Ford Broncos. So if you were in search of some better sound for your Bronco as well as some better performance off-road and a high-quality exhaust system without breaking the bank, you have definitely found it. Now this option by AWE is going to completely transform the way your 2.3 liter or 2.7 liter sounds with a deeper exhaust note, some better volume, and also minimal drone. Now when it comes to sound, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 on the loudness meter, with 1 being completely stock and 5 being wake the neighbors loud. Now what I like about this exhaust system is the fact that this is going to give you that volume and a throaty tone to the exhaust while not being obnoxious, perfect for the Bronco owner who really likes to hear their exhaust but doesn't want something that's going to interfere with their everyday driving. Now, not only is this going to just sound really good, but it's also going to perform well at the same time, giving you a little bit more horsepower and torque in both the 2.3 liter and 2.7 liter at roughly 3 horsepower and 3 pound-feet of torque. And it's also going to be a high clearance exhaust system that's made to get out on the trail. Now this system here is going to tuck very high and tight to that frame rail and stay out of the way for anybody who's concerned about their clearance, and it's going to be incredibly strong when it comes to the materials and build, making sure that even if you do take a hit on the trail, it is going to withstand that. Now when it comes to the construction, this entire thing is going to be a 3-inch modular catback system made of a high-quality mandrel bent T304 stainless steel for optimal rust resistance, lasting the lifetime of your Bronco. This will also have a straight-through style design for maximum performance, great airflow, and is going to give you that good tone that's not completely overbearing like I mentioned before. Now the system is also going to come with AWE's signature bash guard, which is included in all of the Zero FG Bronco exhaust systems. Now in this particular system, this is going to be the tailpipe or the end of the exhaust, and as you can see there's a stainless steel ring that's welded on the end here. That's going to be 0.125 inches thick, and it's going to reinforce that tubing here, making sure that if you do take a hit with this, it's not going to pinch, it's not going to fold, it's going to withstand that hit like I said before, and in my opinion this is absolutely brilliant. Now this exhaust system will also come with all the locking collars that you need for the exhaust hangers to prevent any movement. It's also going to come with all the clamps and all the hardware that you need as well, making sure that this is a very inclusive kit. Now like I mentioned before, this will be an affordable option, coming in right around $800. Now the reason why that's going to be pretty affordable is because this particular system is only going to come with the bash guard, keeping it a high clearance configuration and more of a hidden option. Now other choices on the page, including AWE, will usually be a little bit more expensive considering what they come with, like a dual outlet or a single outlet that will include a couple more components than you see here. Now those will be more for somebody who wants to see their exhaust and wants more of a sporty look and isn't necessarily concerned about maximum clearance like this one has. Now I would like to note that the other choices for AWE's Zero FG systems will include the bash guard as well, so you can switch it up when it comes to the looks with a tip, and also have the additional bash guard on hand if you want to change the configuration to go off-road. Now that is obviously going to cost you a little bit more because you are getting more with that kit, but if you're not necessarily concerned about the looks, you're in search of a high clearance, high quality exhaust system that's going to give you great sound and great performance, then this is going to be it. Now when it comes to install, I'm going to give this a light 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 2 hours to get the job done with some pretty basic hand tools, and one of our installers is going to walk you through that install step by step. So that wraps it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
The tools you're going to need for this installation include a ratchet, electric or regular, an impact gun, socket extension, 10, 15 and 16 millimeter sockets, an exhaust hanger removal tool, lubricant, and optionally a pry bar.
What is up everybody? Today we have a catback exhaust system we're going to install for you on the 20 Bronco. Now we did previously get the uninstall footage, so we're going to show you that first, and then when you come back to me, I'll show you how to install this step by step.
First thing we're going to do, now that we have our truck up on the lift, is we're going to spray our rubber exhaust grommets here that hold our muffler up. If you do have to put your truck up, jack it up, make sure you use jack stands. In this case, with this vehicle being the height, you might even be able to lay on the ground and do it. So I'm going to spray some PB Blaster on our 2 grommets. Now I'm going to get my 15 millimeter and loosen the axle clamp up that holds the muffler on. Now I'm going to take my 15 millimeter on my impact gun, loosen our clamp here. I'm not going to remove the nut. All you got to do is loosen it. The clamp is welded to the pipe there. Next, we're going to start removing our rubber hangers that hold the exhaust up. Now I'm going to use our exhaust grommet removal tool. If you don't have this, you can use a pry bar, wedge it in there, you'll be able to pop it off. I'm going to get this behind there. Pop this grommet off. Now we'll remove the other one, and then we'll start removing our muffler. Now we're going to remove this one here. I'm going to start removing it and hold the muffler. Pull my tool out of the way. Now that we have that, we're going to be able to give the muffler wiggle and pull up and down, side to side, and our exhaust is removed. Now that we got our muffler off, we're going to remove our rubber hanger mount here that holds our axle pipe up. I'm going to take a pry bar. It's kind of hard to get in there with my exhaust removal tool, and slide this off, holding the pipe so it don't hit me in the head, and we're going to drop it down. So now that we have our grommet removed back there, holding our exhaust up, I'm going to remove our two 15 millimeters up here at our flange. And once I get them off, we're going to take off our two 10 millimeters here that hold our flange pipe up. We're going to end up reusing this part of the flange mount, and the other pipe is going to, or the other bracket's going to slide into that. So you want to make sure when you take them off, you hold on to it. Now that I have the two 15 millimeters loose and off, and I have the 10 millimeters in this bracket off, I'm going to lift up, slide this pipe off. It does have a gasket on the flange. We're going to leave that on there for now. I'm going to pull this pipe right back out over the rear, and our old exhaust is removed.
All right, so on our Bronco catback exhaust system, we're actually going to start at the over axle pipe. So we're going to slide it up over the axle and actually put the hanger in the isolator that's right above the axle. And I did lube up all my isolators just to make it easier to slide the hangers through them. Right, and then we're just gonna let that rest there for now. From the over axle pipe, we're gonna now install our extension pipe. This kit comes with this pipe for the 4-door Broncos. If you are installing this on a 2-door Bronco, you won't have to use this pipe. So first we're gonna slide over our 3-inch clamp. And then we're going to slide our extension pipe into there. And now we're going to tighten down our clamp with a 16 millimeter deep socket. And we're just going to tighten this down just a little bit and leave it loose enough so that we can adjust these pipes if necessary. Next, we're installing our muffler onto our Cat/Y pipe. Now there's a few parts we're going to need for this. First being the factory isolator that we removed earlier. So let's go ahead and slide this onto our hanger first. Then we're also going to need the two 10 millimeter bolts that hold this in place. And then also the two 15 millimeter nuts that hold this onto the flange. And last, a 3-inch clamp. First, let's slide our 3-inch clamp over our extension pipe here. Next, we're going to put our muffler and isolator in place
And there's a couple things you have to line up. One is the little stud that's on the isolator. Make sure that goes through the hole in the frame. Line your studs up with the holes in the muffler flange. Also, make sure that the exhaust gasket is still in place. Now we're going to move over here and slide the muffler into our extension pipe. And just a little note, the reason I'm doing it this way is so that if we install the muffler onto the Y pipe / cat first, it's going to put too much tension on our flex pipe. So I like to use the extension pipe for support. Next, let's put our nuts and bolts in, threaded on by hand, a couple threads. All right, now we're going to grab our tools and tighten everything down. First, I'm going to tighten down the isolator bolts with the 10mm socket. Next, I'm going to grab a 15 with an extension to tighten down the flange nuts. Now I'm going to grab my 16 and move to the clamp and tighten that down just enough so there's some adjustability in it yet. All right, now we're at the back of the exhaust. Got the tailpipe here, slid my 3-inch clamp over it. And before I fit this onto the over axle pipe, I'm going to put the hanger through the isolator. Now I'm going to slide it onto the over axle pipe and tighten down my clamp using my 16mm socket. So once you get your tailpipe on, that is all the install process. The last thing there is to do is just go through, make sure all your pipes are lined up, and then do the final tightening of all your clamps and make sure all the other nuts and bolts are tightened down as well. So as you're going through and tightening everything down to its final tightening torque, one thing to note about the extension pipe here, as you can see, it is kind of an S-bend. So make sure it does go this way. You can kind of see here from the video. Otherwise, if you have it flipped around, everything else might not quite line up properly.
That's going to do it for this review and install of the AWE 0FG catback exhaust with the bash guard for your 21 and newer Bronco. Thank you for watching, and for all things Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.